Okay, so with our conversions, first one we did fraction to a decimal, win it out, divide it out. Now we're going to go the other direction, right? So we're going to start with the decimal and we're going to convert it to a fraction. Okay, now your decimal point is your separator. Okay, whatever comes to the left of your decimal, whatever's to the left of your decimal is your whole number. That's going to go out in front. Whatever number is to the right of your decimal goes on top of your fraction, and your denominator is going to be some power of 10, right? 10, 100, 1,000, whatever the case may be, based on the number of place values that are to the right of the decimal. And again, an easy way to remember that is the number of place values to the right of the decimal is going to be the number of zeros in your power of 10 in your denominator, okay? So, again, if we're looking at this situation here, we got some, there's your rules. Okay, so let's say we got the decimal 0.5, all right? Now, again, there's no whole number, that's fine. With our fraction, we know our numerator is whatever's behind our decimal, and then it's one place value to the right, which means it will have 1 0. So it is 5/10. Now, the thing with fractions is anytime our answer is fraction, we want to simplify that fraction. All right, we worked with a little bit when we were talking about ratios, but it's the same idea here. You find a common factor, divide out the top and the bottom. 5 and 10 are both divisible by 5, which makes that 1, which makes that 2, and your answer is 1/2. Okay? Now let's try another one. I'll keep that one up there. So I got 0.43, right? And I already know that my numerator in this situation is going to be 43. Whatever number is to the right of the decimal is going to be your numerator of your fraction, the top number for your fraction. Now my denominator here, I got 1, 2 place values to the right, so I know I got 2 zeros in my denominator, and that is 43 hundredths. Now I look, see if I can reduce. Again, there's our hundreds because it's 2 to the right. See if I can reduce 43 hundredths. There are no other common factors besides 1, so our answer is just 43 hundredths, right? Yay us. I mean, there's less work for us there. It's already in simplest terms, so there was no need to simplify. Okay? Let's get another one. So if we said 0.421. All right, now, there's no whole number, but I know my numerator is 421. And I know that there are 3 place values to the right, so in my denominator I have 3 zeros. And that 421 goes 1, 2, 3 to the right. That is into our thousandths place value, so our denominator is 1,000. Now, we can't simplify that, so there's our answer. It's in simplest form already, 421 thousandths, right? And again, if we say that, if you know how to read decimals, then it pretty much builds your fraction itself, right? 421 thousandths. So it's 421 over 1,000. All right. Now, something like this, 1.02, okay? Our whole number in this case is 1. That's going to be out in front of our fraction, all right? Now, our numerator is 2, right? Now, the difference here is that that's not 2/10, that is 2 hundredths. 2 place values to the right of the decimal. So there are 2 zeros in our denominator. Now, can we simplify 2 100ths? Yeah, 2 and 100. Anytime you got an even number, if it ends in a 0, a 2, a 4, a 6, or an 8, it's at least divisible by 2. So that's a good place to start. It could have other common factors, but that's a good place for us to start with it. And again, if we're looking at this one, we divide 2 by 2, we get 1. We divide 100 by 2, we get 50. So our answer is 1 and 1/50. Okay, now again, when you simplify a fraction, don't forget about the whole number. A lot of times we forget about the whole number out in front, but that's not just 1/50, that's one whole and an additional 1/50. All right. Try a couple more. 0.0079. All right, now I know my numerator in this case is 79. All right, now my denominator, okay. I know it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, right? So that's 79 10,000ths, right? Which again, if you look up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 10,000ths. Our denominator is 10,000. We can't reduce, so our answer is good to go. Let's see, if we have something like this, 2.8, right? 2 and 8 tenths. And again, if you say it, 2 whole and an additional 8 tenths. Now we look to reduce that. Yeah, we can reduce 8 tenths. Divide by 2 on top and bottom. You get 2 and 4/5. Okay? So, when it comes to converting decimals to fractions, whatever's to the left is your whole number. Whatever's to the right of your decimal is going to be your numerator, and your denominator is initially going to be some power of 10, whether it's 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, whatever. Okay? Now, once you have your fraction, of course, anytime our answer is a fraction, we want to look to simplify it. So look for common factors to reduce out, and make sure your answer is in simplest form.